everybody talks about the impossible turn.
Yeah.
I don't like that term. I like the phrasing the improbable turn. It is entirely possible. I'll show you it today.
Okay.
The problem you're going to have with an impossible turn, again, is having too much energy. Most people think, you know, okay, 500 feet, engine failure, return to the airport. It's going to be this nice gradual turn back around. It's aggressive. It is an aggressive maneuver, and you'll see why. Basically, if you do the nice gradual turn back around, standard rate or 10 degrees of bank or whatever some people who have never done it tell you to do,
you're going to overshoot the angle.
You're going to run out of runway, or you're not going to make it.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to lose too much altitude in the turn. The goal is to get turned around as fast as you possibly can and get back on runway heading as soon as practical.
Okay.
Okay?
And we're going to be at pretty decent speeds, but still slower speeds, and if you make it too tight, like you have to, the stall speed is going to increase the tighter the turn is.
Yes.
So you do have to be careful not to...
So my 60-degree bank stall speed's about 60 knots. So it's kind of an easy way to remember that. So don't go slower than 60 in your turn. We won't be all the way at 60. We'll probably be like 45, 50 degrees, but it's an emergency. I'm showing you kind of how it works, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So the engine is going to fail at 1800. Radio check 5x5. Yeah, the engine's going to fail at 1800. I'm going to make a right turn back to the runway.
Okay.
Okay?
Got it.
French Valley traffic, a 172 is departing runway 18. We're going to have an engine failure at 500 feet and return to runway 36 at French Valley. Okay. I got brakes, heat, lights, ignitions are all on. No ignitions or heats in this plane. Tell I've been flying the jet too much.
Traffic. Skyhawk 1702 Echo is taxiing from Jetport to runway 18 French Valley.
And you want the mixture in that?
Yeah, it's okay. It's fine where it's at. Power set. Speed's alive. Little gusty, but not too much.
That was a nice takeoff.
Thanks, thank you. I've done it a timer 1,000.
Okay, so we're climbing out, looking good. There's 1500. Just making a nice straight out departure here.
Yep, flying runway heading until pattern altitude or whatever it is for a normal departure. And so
cool.
I've got some terrain and some obstacles here to my right. I may change the game plan and go left. Let's see. Yeah, we'll go left with it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's 1700. Doesn't look like we're that high.
No, we're not. There's 1800, ready?
1800 ready.
French Valley traffic, the 172 is returning to runway 36, French Valley. Just slightly keeping it unloaded here.
Okay, and our airspeed is plenty fast.
There's full flap.
Full flaps in the turn. Going right to the numbers. Okay. We do have a 10-knot tailwind.
Now what's the problem?
We're too fast.
Ton of energy, right?
Yeah.
With a 10-knot tailwind.
Yeah. I mean, the airspeed is still, we're going to stop flying soon, but.
Congratulations, you survived the impossible turn. See how impossible it is?
Yeah.
Improbable.
Super improbable.
So the margins are extremely, extremely tight. You heard the stall horn when we were in that turn.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
And how much runway did we use?
Yeah.
About 5,000 feet.
A lot
right?
of it, yeah. But it also, I mean, thank you for showing me that, because that's like a, that's one of those things that in practice, you know, you could talk about that until you're blue in the face, but until you actually see...
Until you see it, you don't realize how violent of a maneuver it is.
Well, but violent, but also doable.
Right.
And like how it looks. And obviously, if you're in that engine failure scenario, you're not going to necessarily need that nice of a landing.
Now, I have two advantages that if it happens to you, you won't have. One, I know it's coming. That's worth its weight in gold. Right.
Yeah.
If you know it's coming, you'll survive it every time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Two, I have 800 hours in this airplane.
Yeah.
I could fly the airplane with my eyes closed, probably. Not very accurately or safely, but I could probably do it.
Yeah.
So, that's a major, 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 major factor.
Right. Yeah,
Cool.
but you're right. That extra time. I mean, it's like that in the movie Sully. They were like, well, they knew that engine failure or the bird strike was coming, so they had time to prepare for the emergency.
My favorite thing about that accident with Sully in 1549. How long did it take for Sully to start the APU? From bird impact to APU button start press.
I don't remember. Was it 5 seconds?
3 seconds.
3 seconds.
That's item number 17 in the QRH for dual engine failure. First thing he did, APU start.
Yeah.
That's a guy who knows his systems.
Wow.
So, cool. You ready to fly?
Yep.
All right. Shall we go back to Orange County?
Yeah.
And do some landings without an engine failure?
Yeah. The engine on. That sounds fun.
And I show you this so you can see it, not so you get comfortable with it. But so that way when people are talking about these things, you can be like, hey.
I've done that. I've seen that.
Now you have now you have experience to start with.
Yeah.
Cool. You ready for the controls?
Yep, my controls.
All right, you've got the controls.
Okay.